project over a year and a half ago in the fall of last year, and it started out where I wanted to make a book about my mom. I wanted a book that I could give to my kids, her grandchildren, my nieces and my nephew, that they would have a book to know who their grandma was and is, and to know her like I have known her, like my sister and brother have known her. And so that's how the project started. But I didn't really know where to go with that, and I've never written a book before. I've always been the artist in the family, not a writer. And I figured if I was really going to do this right, which I wanted to do, I needed to find somebody who knew how to write a book. So through my Aunt Terry, I found Karen, sitting over there, who honestly could not have done this without her. She's guided me through this project, stepping out into this adventure, not knowing what I was doing. We were talking on the phone one day, and I started out sharing with her what my goal was, or what I thought my goal was, that I wanted a book about my mom. And she's like, well, what is your goal? What is your real goal with this book? And I didn't actually really know what my goal was, but all I knew is that I had written one paragraph so far, and so I read that paragraph to Karen on the phone, and I'm going to read it to you today. Joann has touched so many throughout her journey here on earth. Those of us who have had the privilege and honor to be there along her way through this life will always hold dear our memories and stories of her. My story with my mom and what has led to the creation of this book will forever mold me and define who I am. I am so thankful and hold as a great, great treasure the honor to call her my mom. Though her memories have faded and seem lost forever, I have gained encouragement and a renewed hope as I compile the stories and precious words from those around her. For through the memories of others, I have been blessed and able to recreate and capture who Joann was and is to all of us. For even though she has forgotten, we have not and will not for generations to come. Her legacy thrives. I will not allow Alzheimer's to steal her hopes and dreams for all those she loves. Her ultimate goal in life, I know, was to see her family and friends come to love Jesus and truly know Him. I hope I have succeeded in capturing the love she so passionately had for Jesus, her family, friends, colleagues, and students, so you will never forget her story, her journey, and her love for our Lord. I finished that paragraph, and Karen so perfectly said, well, there you go, there's your goal. And then that was the point where I realized that it wasn't just writing a book about my mom, but it was writing a book about her life, her relationship with Jesus, and how that has impacted so many others. And the greatest tribute that I could give to my mom is to bring people to Jesus. And that's what I hope that the end and ultimate result is from the book. And that is the greatest way I can honor her. Just wanted to give you all like a little overview of the book and what you can expect when you start to read it. It's broken up into 3 parts. Part 1 is all of the friends and families, memories, and contributions that they mailed in. That's a total of 48 friends and family. Part 1's broken up into 8 chapters, and each chapter is based on one of my mom's characteristics and personality traits in relationship to Jesus. Part 2 is number 49 contribution, and that is from my dad. My dad wrote part 2 about his life with my mom and this journey he's walking through with Alzheimer's. And then part 3 is what I wrote. My memories of my mom and what it looks like to walk through grief. And yeah, I look forward to this day for a while, anticipating it greatly. And I think the most exciting part of today is getting to give my dad his book. I've teased him many times the last year and a half, telling him a little awesome, cool thing about the book and then stopping short and saying, oh, can't tell you anymore, sorry. Or showing him one awesome, amazing picture and then saying, well, there's actually some more that are even more cool than that, and you've actually never seen them before, but you can't see it until the book comes. So yeah, I'm about to give you your book, Dad, but you have to wait a little bit longer. There's just one more thing that I wanted to share. When I was writing the conclusion to my book, I thought about a visual that I feel really represents my mom's life and her impact on us. And so I'm going to read a paragraph from the conclusion. What has Joann's journey been about? Well, the obvious purpose was to remember Joann and the life she's lived up until now. It has been a great one. In part 1, you saw the love of friends and family and how they will all cherish deeply the memories they have of Joann. You can truly visualize this effect if you look at ripples on the water around you. And you can actually see them right now because the rain is hitting the water. As you stand along the seashore or lakeside, the water is calm. You can see a shimmer of sunlight below reflecting off its surface. Imagine, as you stand there, grasping a handful of pebbles in your hand, throwing them into the water. The ripples collide and roll away from the center of impact, causing more ripples to fan out from their center. Now imagine everyone you know throwing a handful of pebbles into the same water. Each bundle of ripples cascades across the top of the water and ripples away from the center. When each of you throws a handful of pebbles, a multitude of ripples intersect and weave their way through all the other ripples coming from different directions. And even though these all travel in their own pathways, they weave and cross paths with other ripples along the journey. This visual illustrates how my mom's life has been a ripple effect. For she is but one pebble with ripples that never stop moving and have woven their pathway throughout all the others. We are all only tiny pebbles touching and impacting those around us, but our ripple effect is massive. Sometimes, as I visualize this imagery, I think it might be more fitting if my mom was a boulder, not a pebble, because her impact for me has been so great and monumental that the ripples from her impact have shaken me and will ripple and weave through me for the rest of my life. That's Joann's journey.
Little puppies and children and girls of the night. Them that don't know him won't like him, and them that do sometimes won't know how to take him. He ain't wrong, he's just different, but his pride won't let him do things to make you think he's right. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Don't let them pick guitars and drive their own trucks. Let them be doctors and lawyers and such. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. 'Cause they never stay home in the roads alone, even with someone they love. Take one, Andrew.